course, it's a January transfer window, but one that has already been confirmed, and that's Antoine Semenyo, who has signed for Manchester City from Bournemouth. There you go, £62.5 million is the fee that both clubs have agreed upon. Jules, how does he fit in at City?
That's a great question, and I think that's a great debate as well, to be fair. I think first and foremost, if you can sign Antoine Semenyo right now in January, if you have that money available, if you can add him as an option to your squad, whoever you are, you do it. And that's why all the top clubs were interested in him. City were the quickest. They maybe were the ones who wanted him the most. That's probably fair to say as well, more than Chelsea, more than United, more than Liverpool, more than Arsenal. But if you had asked any of those managers, do you want Semenyo in your squad for the second half of the season? All of them would have said yes. So great option to fit in this team. I think the best thing to start with on Semenyo is two-footed. It's as simple as that. He's, I think, with Ryan Cherki, the most two-footed player in the Premier League right now. City will have them both. That means he can play on the right, he can play on the left. Half of his goals so far this season have been with his right foot, the other half with his left foot. He shoots as much with his right foot than his left foot. He dribbles as much starting from the right and starting from the left. He's so unpredictable that you can play him on either flank and the defender won't know where to go because Semenyo can go either ways. That's the first thing. The second thing is a pressing machine. Physically one of the most powerful wingers or attacking players in the league. So for what Guardiola wants to do with his team and with Pep Lijnders, his new assistant, in terms of intensity and verticality, Semenyo is perfect for that. More than a Doku, more than Savinho, more than any player that can play wide really in the City squads, he will be that. He will be the first to trigger that press and that counter press to a really high efficiency. And other wingers I mentioned, he's a finisher. In terms of goals and assists, he's been outstanding for the last 18 months now, to the point that even if he takes a lot of shots and maybe he will need to adapt that part of the game to his new team, it's great to have because you know the numbers will be there and you won't rely just on Erling Haaland to score all those goals.
Shaka, this is a question I asked you too, because I was saying, given the way Manchester City are going and also the fact that Jeremy Doku has been performing quite well, but Antoine Semenyo is a player who is in form right now.
Yeah.
So does he walk onto this Manchester City team and, say, replace a Doku immediately?
Not replace a Doku, plays the other side of Doku. I think he makes Manchester City better. And while moments ago I was saying this is Arsenal's title to lose, Manchester City have drawn their last 3 games, and all of a sudden that lead that Arsenal enjoy at the top is withered away into nothing. Now, I made this point after City's draw with Chelsea, where they played Reinders and Bernardo Silva. I felt that without wingers, City just looked very flat, very predictable. When you use a Jeremy Doku or Savinho, or under Savinho, I think they look a whole lot better, especially kind of given Erling Haaland's skill set. You don't even need to be good at crossing the ball for Erling Haaland to score from crosses. And there's no question that Semenyo is an upgrade on Savinho. So now if you play Doku out on the left, where he likes to operate, and you use Semenyo out on the right, and you are able to have this kind of almost traditional throwback front three with 2 players staying very wide and 1 big target man through the middle who cannot stop scoring goals regardless of what the service may be, all of a sudden you have a fearsome front three. Now, City still have issues at the back, which is evident for everybody to see. But it makes City a whole lot better, a whole lot more difficult to play against with that front three, with 2 wingers who, when they get the ball, they give defenses problems.
Well, Jules, another name that's being talked about in this January transfer window, of course, is Marc Guehi. We know that he's now been linked with Manchester City, Liverpool again, and potentially even Arsenal, but that would be a summer move. So what's the latest on his situation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can count Arsenal in the same bracket as the other 2, but we know that both Liverpool and City really need a centre-back this January. City, because of the serious injury to Gvardiol, the fact that Stones, we're not really sure what's happening with him, and that Diaz is probably out for another 4 to 5 weeks, so they badly need a centre-back, and Guehi, Premier League proven, in England international, is playing in Europe now. It just ticks all the boxes for City. I know you can get him for free in 6 months, but for now, even if you have to pay 25 or 30 million, I think if you're City, it's a no-brainer, you do it. Whether Guehi would want to move right now in January instead of waiting and have more options that's another debate. But if you're City, you have to try to get him. Same for Liverpool, because if something happens to Van Dijk and Konate, you're in big trouble.
Well, if you haven't noticed, our Julian Laurens is all over the January transfer window, and you can hear a lot more from him